Right, go on.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Dr. Prasad with Val from India, from Sri Sai Vidyarthi High School, where she is with. I welcome all the Rotarians and all my friends, all the members. Thank you. Thank you for being with us today.
Okay, right. First of all, I would just say very briefly, from the beginning, how did this start? From the project started in 2009. Terry and I wanted to support 2 children, and we asked a friend, is there anyone you know that could help us with 2 children? And they gave us 2 little boys, Vicky and Aravind. Vicky was first class, and Aravind was UKG. So that's how it started. We came to see the school, we met Dr. Prasad, and the school was a piece of tin shack, really, incredibly hot. When it rained, you could not hear yourself speak. There was a coconut tree growing up through the middle of the tree, the roof, and there were 100 children sat on the floor. Today, Vicky has got his degree, and he has got a job with the government, which is very, very good here because it means he's got a future. And Aravind is in his third year at university. This is a slum area. All the people in this school are below poverty line. So they have mainly maids in houses, labourers, fruit sellers. If the parents cannot afford to pay for the children, very small amount, then they are helped if they can be. But also a lot of the senior children work to pay their own school fees, which is actually incredible. So that's how we started. And you will see now from 2009, how we ended up as a beacon school earning top awards in the whole of India. So over to Martin, and we'll start a typical look round the school. We could not get pupils in tonight. Obviously, it's too dangerous to bring them in. It's not a very safe area. And also, they would have been incredibly tired. But thank you all very much for joining me because it's very close to everything I ever do. Okay, over to you, Martin.
Back to you, Val.
Yeah, that school song came from, I was in a school in Nottingham giving out dictionaries, and the class 6 group were leaving to go to secondary. And the words, I've got the power in me, nobody's going to silence my words, nobody's going to change my mind, I know I can do something about it. So that's my theme. I can do something about it. And we've instilled in all the children, they can do something about it. And that's the whole ethos of the school. That was a year 10 class. You can see boys and girls, very good mix. And there's a mix of religions, but there is no way of identifying them. They are all in the uniform. If the girls wear the hijab or they wear a burqa to school, they take it off when they get into school. So everybody in school is equal, equal boys, equal girls. And if you notice, there was a thought for the day on the board, and it's always something that's a moral message for the day. So if we continue on, we'll start to look at some of the work that's been done since we started. First of all, we had to do something about the size of the school. So we built a ground floor, then we did a second floor, then a third floor, and gradually began to put in everything that was needed in a school. It is totally English medium. The minute you walk in the school, unless you are teaching Hindi or Telugu, you teach in English. And right from UKG, the little ones and the nursery at 3, they can speak English, which is excellent, because it's going to give them a great start when they want to get a job. Okay, so are there any questions from now? No? Okay, well, Martin, if you continue. Are you there, Martin?
We'll go to one entitled Addressed by Val then, yeah, we'll work down the list, yeah?
And the one thing that I knew would keep me going was this school. Today, you look absolutely, I don't use the word, amazing. Everything you do is 100%. That is all anyone ever asks. All I want from you ever, whatever level, you do your very best. So wherever you go, your future, you can say, I tried. You've got the power, I've got the power. And the words of that song, exactly. When I don't know what to do, I search inside me and I know I can do it. Never say no, never say I can't. You can. Dr. Prasad laughs. Often he's thinking thoughts here. I will contact him from the UK, and for some reason we are thinking the same thing. Special relationship. I came to India 19 years ago. When this became a republic, I hate to admit, I was 3 months old. I think I was meant to be here, not there. So happy Republic Day from an English lady putting up the Indian flag, which my people at home find very strange. But I think in a way, many ways, I am more Indian than English. Thank you all, thank all the staff, the workers, anybody who has anything to do with this building, anybody that makes it the wonderful thing, because the only thing that Dr. Prasad and all the staff and everybody want, you are the best. And wherever you go, you tell yourself, nobody is better than our school. When you go back, don't forget where you came from. Because you are going to do great things, and you can come back and say, sir, how can we help? And thank you very much I am a PE teacher. This is a PE teacher, and we're special. Organisation always is superb. Thank you very much.
Oh, go on, do you want to say something?
No, yes.
Okay. Right, that was Republic Day, January the 26th. And for several years now, not only at this school, but in other schools where I've been working, I have raised the flag. And the first time I did it, it seemed very, very odd that I was actually really basically the day the British were kicked out, that I've been taken under their wing and back in, and I put up the flag, and then I can sing the national anthem. I find it difficult singing it on my own, but certainly people are very amazed that I can actually sing the national anthem. So Republic Day is very, very important, and you will notice that they were all in teams. So like a very good English school, we have houses, 4 houses, same colours as we always had, green, red, blue and yellow. And all the activities are done in the team houses. Lot of competition. We have a head boy, head girl. We have
Captains,
school captains,
vice captains,
and sports. I noticed a couple of years ago that all the captains were boys and the vice captains were girls. And Dr. Prasad listens quietly, because this time we had boy captains and vice captains and girl captains and vice captains. So we have moved forward as it should be. There are also vocational captains, discipline captains, cultural captains. So it's very, very organised. And when you come into school in the morning, the teachers are really in school to teach, and the senior pupils are very much in charge of what happens in the building, which is incredible to see. And I would love to see it in some of our schools, because they're preparing these children. And remember, they only go to year 10 here, then they go on to 11, 12 college. But the amount of ability they've got and the responsibility they have is second to none. And it makes a very, very, very good grounding for some of these children without parents, who have to work to pay their own fees and look after other families and small children. It's they really are making the most of everything and doing extremely well. Okay. Any questions? No? Carry on.
Okay, so do you want to go, Val, now to carry on with the Republic Day and the pyramid, that one?
Yeah, because that goes nicely with sports, yes.
Yeah, okay. And then,
right,
sorry, carry on.
I'll just say something about this. They are in the street. There's 1 or 2 people watching who are at college, either with me or at different times. And they will appreciate that when I saw them doing that on the road, and the boys were even higher, I was very worried about when they crashed down onto the rough ground. So I went to IKEA. Yes, they do have IKEA. Horrible shop. Got totally stuck in there the other day. And I bought them some gym mats. So the green mats are gym mats because we do not have any facilities. Today we've been playing out and we cleared a piece of waste ground. But it does not stop them doing it. If we want to play badminton, the badminton net goes in one side of the road, in the house one side of the road, across to the house the other side of the road. If the onion seller comes through, we lift it up. If a car comes through, we lift it up. So nothing ever stops them doing it. The little ones do all sorts of races, egg and spoon, sack races, all the things that we used to do. And luckily, people at home, when we were doing, I think Sainsbury's were giving tokens. I had a lot of sports equipment and stuff to bring out. But it doesn't matter that you haven't got the facilities, you can still do it. And in school, the dance is very, very good, very good. And again, both boys and girls emphasize that very much for girls' education. But here, they are very, very equal. Okay, yeah.
Okay, we'll go for the classroom overview next then, Val.
Okay. Now, those particular pictures really start to show that once we got the building, and the building now is 4 stories high, we really needed to do something about the classrooms. You'll notice that there are a lot of children in the class. Average size is 50. The numbers on roll, Christine, are 1,200. There's 1,200 pupils, aged nursery to 10th standard. So that is typical. Nobody actually was doing anything with discipline. We rarely have to tell anybody to sit down, stop talking or anything like that. You notice that in the classrooms, they are all on desks and benches. They didn't have any desks and benches. So we've bought hundreds of desks and benches, and they are all well looked after. And they're all painted. And I noticed when I came down tonight, they're all painted bright colours. In the classrooms, it was very noisy. When it showed you the top of the classes, you saw like glass partitions. So we partition the top of the classrooms. Those partitions open, they slide. So if they want a bit of air, or if they wet out on the outside where they were getting wet, they can open or close them. But the difference it's made it very much quieter. Teaching method is very much chalk and talk, because that is the only way we can accommodate that number of children. If we got a slightly bigger bit of school, it would be much easier. But in other places, they are not taught like that.
Yeah.
They all use a separate workbook for each subject. And they all do English, maths, Hindi, Telugu, science, humanities, social studies.
GK.
Huh?
GK.
What's
General knowledge.
General knowledge.
And computers.
And computers. I think our children could do with a bit more general knowledge. But the discipline is there. There is never any problems. The teachers are all qualified to degree level. And 2 of the teachers were students here and have gone away and got qualified and have come back again. Most schools do not have any fire equipment. We have a complete fire system in the school, which is very, very unusual. And we have a big board as you come in the school, regulations, fire regulations, and they do fire practices. There's no other school, government schools do not do this at all, and there is no other school around anywhere near here. Normally the fire brigade will turn up, they will give them a bribe and they give them a certificate. We did not. We have got a complete set of fire equipment. We redid all the ceilings. The ceilings have now got fans. So the whole building, and notice as you go round the school, every space on the wall has been painted, as has the front of the school. And one of the local guys has come in, numerical tables on the walls, anything to do with science, all to do with education. So when you come into the school, although there's 1,200 people, all you can really hear is the buzz of children learning. I always think they're like little sponges. They want to do well. They want to learn. Okay, carry on.
Val, I was just going to say we've got a couple of questions come in the chat. So we've got one asking what are the numbers on roll. I think that means how many children in a school. Did you say 1,200?
1,200.
1,200, okay. Then we have a question from Pat Zadora. The boys and girls appear to be mainly separated in classes. Is this a cultural thing or ability?
Cultural. No. The little ones, they were downstairs. Little ones are mixed. They're mixed in some, the year 10s are mixed. They sit on different sides of the classroom. It is a cultural thing. But there are some classes are mixed, some classes are not mixed. But mainly as they get older, they are in the same room, but on different sides of the room. All teachers are female. That saves a lot of problems in India, because the only male teachers that come in are invited in with the seniors, very much extra tuition after school. I'll say a little bit about the school day. Class 10 who are coming up for examinations come to school at 6 p.m. in the morning, 6 a.m. in the morning. The normal school come in at 8 p.m.
8 a.m.
8 a.m. Sorry, 8 a.m. What time do you carry on?
5 o'clock. The part of the school leaves. High school stays back for evening class up to 7:30 in the night, because once they go home, they don't do any work. They go straight away to vegetable market to sell vegetables, sell fruits and all. So they don't do the homework given in the school. So we hold them up to 7 to 7:30. We extra employ teachers in the evening so that they get their work done and they're prepared for the next day's class. Otherwise, they won't complete. They would just come back to the school without doing anything. And again, the teachers find very difficult for the next day because they don't do yesterday's work. All this is also being taken care in the school itself. In the school itself, because both the parents are uneducated, illiterate, and they go to do all odd and menial jobs. They hardly know what their children, they don't know what their children are doing. So that's why we have started this evening classes for them to keep a hold on them until 7:30 evening to complete all the work in the school which is required for the next day's class.
And the head teacher lives on top of the building. I stay on top of the building with Dr. Prasad, and from the start in the morning to finish at night, he supervises the whole school. He is never missing, which is incredible. There's a question just come through about electrical backup. I saw that. Didn't see. I think we'll answer that in a minute. That will come through in a minute. Can you?
Solar.
Yeah. Can you Martin? Have you got the solar one?
No, I've not seen a solar one, to be honest.
Have you not?
No, I didn't get a solar video. The next one I was going to be the one where the children are bringing you the bits and pieces, the flag and the toys one, we called it.
Okay, I'll just get Dr. Prasad to talk about the solar, because I think somebody said about electrical backup.
They talked about electrical backup.
Whole school, yeah. The whole school runs on solar power, which is green energy. We don't buy energy. This energy is prepared in the school, where Val could get some donors to install solar panels on the top of the roof. With the help of some Rotarians, she could get some funds to have a 10 kilowatt power from solar, because almost around about 12 months, we have a lot of sunlight here in India. So we have solar panels on top of the roof where we prepare our own energy. We need not bother about the power which is given by the government, because we can prepare our own power here in the school. And the children, as the question came up, how are these children selected into the school? We give them a written test, a basic written test, whether they know to read and write, a little bit of English with mathematics background. If the child is fit, then we give them admission. If they are not fit, we ask them to teach them and bring them back. We'll give them admission after giving a written test to them.
With regard to the solar, before we had it, the cost to the school was I'd say in pounds, £500 a month.
Yes.
When we the district grant project was to put in the solar 10 watts, so we put the 10 watts in, and the cost dropped to 200 a month. That's just happened. So we've asked for help with phase 2, because when we put the final 5 kilowatts in, which is, I hope will happen very quickly, the cost of the school will be nil. And today we've had money back from the government for the extra electricity that we are generating. They have given us 700 and something rupees, which is about £70. So the difference, it means that money that we save can now be used for other things in the
Maintenance
school.
of the school.
Maintenance, textbooks, but it will be used. If it is 10 kilowatts as phase 1, yeah. Yes, John, it's 10 kilowatts phase 1, 5 kilowatts phase 2. You're right. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. Yeah.
Can I suggest we move to the computer lab next, Val? That probably seems appropriate now. Yeah.
Boys and girls. Right. In most schools I go into, in the government schools, they are given computers. Government schools gave computers, and they are still sitting there, or nearly always, in the plastic. The attitude is, it's not my job. I'm not a computer teacher, so I'm not going to do it. These computers are used daily by, I noticed that was a mixed class, by boys and girls. They can come in and use the computers if it's relevant. The computer was one of the very first things that we put in. I did ask recently, did they want them upgraded? And they said, no, there was other things that we needed. That will come. Nasimullah, who's sitting on this side of me, you can't see him. He's the techie guy in school. And
he maintains the system.
He maintains the system, and they get people into, do you want to say something?
Yes. No,
Right.
no.
No, he doesn't want to speak.
Yeah, we teach up to C language here. Basically from class 1 to class 9, we teach them computer skills. So once they go out, they can join some, if they are not able to continue education, they can join into some call centers where they get a good salary. After 10th also, with this little bit of computer knowledge, what we give in the school, that is C language, MS Office, are the languages which we teach them at school level. Once they finish this, they know how to use computers. They can do, they can join some call center, computer center. They can earn around about 10 to 15,000 rupees a month to support their family. This jobs are generally between 2 to 3 shifts. They can do one shift, they can go to college. Second shift, they can join. They can come back from college. They can go to this call center, do their jobs, get the earnings. They can pull along. They can support their family, in fact, by learning computers at school, where we have a basic computer, 2 computer teachers we have. One handles theory subject of computer in the class, and the other teacher is in the computer lab. All these computers have been provided by Val and Rotary. It's really all new. We had all worn out old computers. So Val said, this won't work. Please to keep them aside. Then we installed new computer system in the school. All are new computers purchased from the market. All are new, brand new computers we have in the school. So now we don't have, at present, we don't have any problem of maintenance because all of them are in new.
Okay. We also in school have CCTV, and we are moving on to what we're doing today. When we do
live stream.
Huh?
Live stream.
Live streaming. You will see in a minute, I bought a very large television set to put in an auditorium that we've built upstairs, and the Wi-Fi is going up. They can get YouTube, which means they can use obviously get any subject they like, any information. When we do performances and whole school things, It's very, very crowded on the bottom floor. So we are looking into today, doing live streaming to the first floor, second floor, by buying another big television set so that we do not have to shift the children up and down what is still the dreadful staircase in the school. So we're trying to keep absolutely up to date. This is much more up to date than most schools you will ever see in India, in any section. Okay, Martin, carry on.
Okay, so we move to lunchtime now.
Yes. Yeah.
That's not your lunchtime, by the way. This is Val's lunchtime.
I mean, isn't there some of those big companies, isn't there HR where you can go and complain?
He did all.
Yeah.
He spoke to the director of. Okay, we will give. That's why the seat of.
Give it through the captain. What again? Folic acid and little ones. They have folic acid and what else?
Yes.
What's the other thing?
Nutrition supplement for anemic.
Nanny?
Come from a village. What will you teach? But great he is doing a lot of.
Who's nutritious and what? Right. Okay.
This is lunchtime. Some people who bring their lunch, which is cooked overnight, because parents go up early in the morning at 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock to the market to fetch vegetables, fetch foods. So they cook in the night, put it there. They go to their business. These children put the lunch in the boxes and get it to the school. Because here it is very hot, the food gets spoiled by lunch. And all these children who are being given food are either orphans or very poor, who don't have either of the parents. They are being given nutritious food. Daily one type of food is being given during the lunch hour. We have a cook to cook fresh, hot food for them. So eggs also are being given to them, fruits, some papad, dal, sambar, vegetable curry. Sometimes we have mixed vegetable rice. We have dal rice. We have leafy vegetable palak rice, pudina rice, like that. We maintain the nutritional diet for these children because they're already not getting proper food at home. They just put a little bit of chili powder in the tiffin and send the children to the school because they're not able to cook, because they go to jobs early in the morning. So this food supplement keeps some of them who couldn't come to school because of food are able to come to school now.
I eat the dinner with them in the school because if they eat it, I eat it. My husband will laugh. I have to avoid the spicy bits. But no, and we sit outside in the road. That's the road. They're cooked in the house opposite. One lady is employed by the school to look after the housekeeping. And it's very, very good food. This is not given by the government in schools where there's fee pays, but it's far, far better than the government schools. The other thing that's been recognised is that there are some children who are suffering from malnutrition. Now, there's a scheme going at the moment, so every day for 90 days, these children have been identified. Initially, how they
are screened for blood test to find how much of hemoglobin is there in the blood. Then, depending on it's generally 11 to 12 per child. If it's less than that, they will be given food supplement, medicine, folic acid, nutritious food is given to them. Packed food is brought. Nutritious food is supplied by NI, National Institute of Nutrition, with ICMR. The government has taken up as a program where the children are in poverty areas. They get nutritious food. So they're checking them for blood tests and all. And they're trying to give them some medicines and all, like iron tablets, folic acid tablets, calcium tablets, so that their blood level, hemoglobin level goes up, so that they'll be like a normal children.
Yeah, I think that's the other thing that happens in school. Some of the local Rotary clubs rang me at home. Could we go and do a dental camp? They'll have dentists there. Some people there'll be an eye camp. The police go in and talk to them.
General medical tests.
Yeah, children medical tests. The police go in and talk to them about road safety. So it can be, and I know when it was very, very hot, the children were out locally giving clean drinking water to people out on the street. This is all supported. Duncan's just asked, how do we support it? This is all supported by the very low fees that are given. It's just very, very well managed. And I know the head teacher certainly, in COVID, when we paid the wages for 2 years, and when we also sent money for food parcels, that where it was needed, Dr. Prasad used some of his own money as well. Nobody goes hungry. But again, that is just the ethos of the school. Okay, move on, Martin. Oh, sorry. I went to go a couple of years. Sorry, I missed that. Somebody said I went to go a couple of years. Didn't get it. No.
Do you want me to read it, Val? Sorry, let me.
Yeah, please. I only got a bit of it.
Right, just bear with me a second. Just scroll back.
Max is saying,
it says, I heard you speak at District Assembly in a session for newbies, probably 2016.
Oh, God.
Which encouraged me to go to India for End Polio Now, which I joined 3 times. Whilst there, Delhi and Amritsar, I seem to remember hearing that all children from 5 years old are educated. Is that correct? And what is the minimum level provided?
All children in government are educated.
No, not at all.
65% not.
Yeah, 65% are still not educated. Not educated. Halfway they drop also from 5th, 6th grade. They drop off from the school because they have to support their families in vegetable selling, fruit selling, or if father is weak, sick, he has a small cycle shop. The son will take over the cycle shop to run the cycle shop, because unless there's no means for them. Because if the father is sick or bedridden, because they drink a lot of this thing, and they fall sick. Once they fall sick, the mother has to be with the father to take care of him because he's paralyzed or he's bedridden. And the child will go to the shop and she works or he works there to get the means of living for the family.
There is no medical help. There's no welfare help. And this is where we come in, because we started with 2 children. We've now got 49 children sponsored, and also other people locally, a few are sponsored. And this is, we pay for those children, because most of the children that we are paying for, certainly in COVID, 2 girls lost both parents. An uncle took them in. He's already got 3 children, so he's not going to be able to afford to educate them. So I found somebody in the UK, and they are now sponsored. So, and that covers their education for a year and their uniform and needs. So it's, and occasionally, Sir will have somebody in. A lady came the other day begging for a uniform because the little boy wouldn't come to school because he hadn't got a uniform. The family had disappeared. Mother, father had gone, left the children with grandma, and she was on her knees.
How much is your sponsorship?
Right, a year sponsorship for, I'll do it in pounds. A small child for a year is £55. By the time you get to year 10 with school books, examination fees, the top it will be is 90, and that's for a whole year. I gave the money straight away. 600, was it 600 rupees? £6 for the complete set of uniform, and that's and everything. Whoever that is, thank you very much. Whoever that is, sponsor Martin, if you take a note. Everything is bought locally. So not are we only helping the school, we're helping the local economy. Desks and benches are made locally. The builders are local. We only use local people. And for those people that don't know, the money does not come into the school directly. It goes to an FCRA account, a foreign currency regulated account, government account, to the Rotary Club of Jubilee Hills, where I'm an honorary member. And all the work is done. Dr. Prasad sends the invoices and the fees. So each child, teachers, if it's salaries, they are paid directly into the teachers' banks, so that it's all totally controlled
And transparent.
and transparent. So no actual money, unless I'm here. Then I've been out today to buy something. I bought I'm going to buy an iron and a ironing board for the sewing group. But everything is totally transparent and goes through the right channels. So there is never not a single rupee goes anywhere else.
Okay, Val,
Okay.
can I suggest we move on now probably to the sewing machines and the DG project?
Yeah, your
If that's
project.
okay. As you're all
Yeah.
aware, I was keen to do something in my first DG year and now my second DG
Yeah.
year. So you'll see the impact that we've had with sewing machines and girls. I can also see that Maxi would like to sponsor a child. Maxi, I'll sort that out with you and Val.
Martin, somebody else has asked, how do we ship the goods?
How do we make the payment?
No goods are shipped. We never ever ship. If anything comes out, I bring it. I had 92 kilos free luggage from British Airways. Nothing is ever bought anywhere, so we'd have no shipping costs. And the pay is everything done is through the Jubilee Hills Bank. It doesn't come into school. It's all done from the Rotary Club Bank.
Okay, right. Yeah, I'll move on to sewing machines. I noticed that 1 or 2 people are saying, how do I sponsor this? If you put your name and details in the chat, we'll save the chat at the end, and then Val or I will be in contact with you with all the details and that.
Brilliant.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I'll move on to the sewing machines now.
Okay.
go to her place.
It may-
Regular relative. They're just
Yeah.
pilgrimage.
And you remove your mask.
If I stop it there,
Okay.
I think that gives a flavour. If you want to just talk a bit about the clothes, the things they've been making and that sort of thing.
Yeah. Martin came and said to me he wanted, because it was the theme was empowering girls. And these girls are all very bright girls and they are in school. A lot of them are sponsored. So they've got their education. So I thought, well, something good would give them a vacation as well. So we decided that tailoring is very, very big. Nearly every woman in India has clothes made, especially sari blouses. If you notice the green blouse with the gold spots I had on, they had made that. And that is as good as anything that you go and buy in a professional tailor's. So we bought the machines. They are treadle machines, because if those girls were using their machines at home, they would not have the electricity. We bought one electric machine for the teachers, but also that they could learn embroidery and they can do the more sophisticated things on the machines. So the girls are taught all the basics, and the course is 3 years, to year 8, 9 and 10, alongside your academic studies. They will be doing tailoring. Boys can do it if they wish to do it. They have to apply in school to do the course, and then they're put on the course. So what they are making, they've started with basics, straight stitching, all the things that we would normally teach in school. I insisted that we had 2 qualified tailoring teachers, not 2 people that think they can sew. I can sew, but I do not know all the tricks of the trade. So we pay 2 tailoring teachers each year, and they started on the time you start small children's clothes, then they've progressed to making dresses for themselves, frocks, they're making petticoats. On the bottom of a sari you have a strip, so that's the fall, they can do that. The machines are regularly, every month somebody comes in to maintain them, because they get learning on them and they bend needles, all bought locally, all maintained locally. The idea is that when they leave year 10, some of those will have 3 years experience, so they will get a certificate qualification, that they do not go and work for somebody else, that which we would like to do is set up their own little business, 4 or 5 of them, and perhaps some of those will be able to teach others in the school, and perhaps be paid a small amount in the school while they train. It's to give them independence, because without it, a lot of those will just drift in, early marriage, awful jobs, and they're very too bright for that. I do not want them working in a factory making for Primark. We want they can use their own ideas. I'm collecting from people I know. A lot of people have saris. I'm giving all the saris I brought with me, except the new ones that they've made me. I'm giving them because each sari is 6 meters of fabric, so they can use that fabric. So the money provides £300 provides a girl for 3 years education and a sewing machine. If they are going to use a sewing machine when they leave, they will leave with a sewing machine. If they are not, we will not let them go, because they will then just get spoiled or sold. But they've got the chance to set up their own business. And the idea is that we set up a small business where we can extend it, teach others, extend the visit, teach others. So eventually they will become self-sufficient. But they enjoy it. The work is fantastic. And already people are saying local shops, the stitching is very, very good. They will give them work to do. If that happens, then Dr. Prasad can set them up their own bank account, not give them the money, set up a bank account, hold it in school, so that when they leave school, they've got the money. But we're looking towards finding small premises or even at the back of the school or somewhere where we can still keep control of what they're doing. But it's very, very successful. And there are no other schools that have anything like it. And I think they really, really enjoy it, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Hang on. Primark are responsible consumer. Yeah, Primark are, but I don't want my girls sat in a factory with about 2,000 other people. They're creative. They want to use their own ideas. I mean, two of my blouses they've made are just incredible, the design. And if I went outside to have them made, they would cost a lot of money. So we might as well pay our girls to do it than pay outside. Okay.
They stitch the blouses for teachers also. The teachers also give them some work whenever they want to get their blouses stitched and all. They're being paid little bit. This money which we are using again and again for the materials and all.
Okay. Well, I was going to suggest before we move on probably to the video of the local news, did you just want to say something? I know Richard's here. Did you want to say something about White Ribbon and the impact? And
Yeah.
what,
I had a long talk to Richard. And the other day I spent a lot of time going through their social books. And I've done a lot of the pages. And I was delighted to see that the issues that Richard and I were talking about,
Women empowerment.
Woman empowerment, abuse,
Social
abuse. We've also got the problems of what do you have to pay when you get married? What's it called?
Dowry.
Dowry. Dowry is not really legal anymore, but they ask for a small dowry, then they get married, and then they get beaten. They want more money. They want more gold. They want more necklaces. It's also talking about respect, how getting the boys and lessons in school for boys and girls about respecting. The girls, when they do their chalk in the street patterns.
Yeah, that is design patterns.
What's it called? When you do it in the street?
Rangoli.
Rangoli. They do Rangoli patterns in the street. They'll be doing them probably this week, every festival. And we noticed it was save the women. And then all those messages were coming through without having to be taught here. That is very unusual. Some of the senior girls did a dance and they did it in black, just had a red sash. And every time the music stopped, they held up a picture and it said, respect women. We are your sister, your brother, your mother. Respect us. Get rid of domestic violence. Also, really to do with in school, we've not talked about, we've put in a bore well because we were lucky. Out in the road, we were allowed to dig a bore well and we had an incredible amount of water. So we've now got water. So we've now got clean washrooms, we've got clean toilets. And in those toilets, which is most unusual, are sanitary boxes for the girls, which are collected on a regular basis. And again, this is issues that are very much, especially with these type of people, brushed under the carpet. But here, everything is talked about, everything is discussed with boys and girls. And you can see a totally different, I mean, but by abuse, I mean, it's child abuse from parents, older brothers, boys, girls. There's also domestic abuse. Outsiders. There's also a thing called where the boys think they can tease girls, flick up the skirts.
Recently, we arranged for a she team from government of Telangana. They came, they spoke to the girls. They said how to protect them when somebody tries to abuse them. when they are traveling on the road, when they are coming by walk, if somebody tries to tease them, they have given them a number called 100. They can dial that number 100. Immediately within 5 minutes, they'll be there and they will take proper action so that they are not abused anymore.
Question about child exploitation, labour, child labour.
Now it's much better because we started a school way long back when no child used to go to school. All of them used to go for along with their mother for washing vessels, cleaning clothes, because they used to work in a close by big buildings. So they used to take their children along with them. But now once we have started with very less fees and all facilities in an English medium school, they are sending the children to school now instead of taking them for domestic work along with the mother or father who go for daily labor. They used to carry the male child along with them, and mother used to take, because they can't leave them at home, because both of the parents, either of the parents are not at home. And if they leave the child, especially a girl child at home, it is a problem for them. If it's a boy child also, he would play on the road, meet with an accident, or something happens to them and the parents are not there at home. So now they send them to school early in the morning by 8 o'clock, or school starts 8. If they are going for a job, they send them at 7. But I am there in the school from 6 o'clock. So I take care of the children if they come early in the morning. We have sub-staff, IMS also coming in the morning. They take care of the smaller children. They leave them here and go. And they come back at evening 5 o'clock from the job, odd jobs they go. They pick their children up and take them back home. That's how the child abuse is to a great extent minimized. To a great extent. That's why I generally don't give any holidays, because parents are not at home. If it's school holiday, parents leave them at home and go. Something happens, it's really alarming. That's why all the time we have a school for 6 days a week, 6 days a week. Unless it's a great major festival where the parents are at home, then we give a holiday. Otherwise, we try to run the school maximum number of days to keep the children in the school where they are safe,
Okay.
Right. So shall we move on to the local news one next, Val?
Yeah.
Okay.
ఎగ్జామ్స్, మార్కులు, ర్యాంకులు, స్కూల్స్లో విద్యార్థులకు ఏం చెప్పినా ఏం నేర్పినా అవన్నీ వీటి చుట్టూనే తిరుగుతాయి. కానీ ఆ స్కూల్ మాత్రం అలా కాదు. పిల్లలకు పర్యావరణంపై చిన్ననాడే అవగాహన పెరిగితే జీవితాన్ని తీర్చిదిద్దుకోవడం కూడా అలవడుతుంది అన్నది ఆ స్కూల్ పాలసీ. అందుకే అక్కడి విద్యార్థులు వేస్ట్ మేనేజ్మెంట్ని పుస్తకాల్లో చదువుకోరు, ఆచరణలో చేసి చూపుతూ అందరికీ ఆదర్శంగా నిలుస్తున్నారు.
ఇదే శ్రీ సాయి విద్యార్థి హై స్కూల్. సికింద్రాబాద్లోని తుకారాం గేట్ ఏరియాలోని ఒక ఇరుకు గల్లీలో ఉన్న పాఠశాల ఇది. విద్యార్థుల్లో ఎక్కువ మంది మురికివాడల నుంచి వచ్చిన వారే. కానీ స్కూల్ నడిపే తీరు మాత్రం పెద్ద పెద్ద కార్పొరేట్ స్కూల్స్ కి ధీటుగా ఉంటుంది. ఇదిగో ఇలా చూడండి, ప్రతి స్కూల్లోనూ సైన్స్ ఫెయిర్ నుంచి రకరకాల ఈవెంట్స్ జరుగుతూ ఉంటాయి. ఆ సమయంలో విద్యార్థులు ఇలాంటి ప్రదర్శనలు ఇస్తూనే ఉంటారు. ఇందులో ఏం ప్రత్యేకత ఉందని ఆలోచిస్తున్నారా? ఒకసారి జాగ్రత్తగా చూడండి. విద్యార్థులు ఇక్కడ ప్రదర్శిస్తున్నవన్నీ పాత వస్తువులతో, అలాగే వాడి పారేసిన వస్తువులతో తయారు చేసిన సరికొత్త వస్తువులు.
I'm studying in 10th class. I done this newspaper bag for using our daily use. We do not use plastic bag because it causes harmful diseases like cancer. So we use like this.
స్కూల్లో చాలా వేస్ట్ పేపర్స్, చాలా రఫ్ పేపర్స్ చాలా మిగిలిపోయినాయి. దాంతో మేము ఇలా పెన్ హోల్డర్ చేసుకున్నాం. ఇది చాలా యూజ్ అవుతుంది. వేస్ట్గా పడేసే బదులు పేపర్స్, ఎందుకంటే పేపర్స్ చాలా విలువ. ఒక చెట్టు కట్ చేసిన పేపర్స్ వస్తుంది కాబట్టి డోంట్ వేస్ట్ పేపర్స్. అందుకే ఇది ఇలా తయారు చేసుకున్నాం.
I made a pen stand for my pens. I made with waste bottle, color paper, cardboard, lining, waste kite cover. I made for my pens. I don't have pen box.
రీయూజ్, రీసైక్లింగ్ ఇప్పుడు కాలుష్య కోరల నుంచి పర్యావరణాన్ని కాపాడటానికి అత్యంత దోహదపడేవి. విద్యార్థి దశలోనే వాడేసిన ప్రతి వస్తువును మరో రకంగా వాడొచ్చు అన్న స్పృహని అలవర్చాలి. అప్పుడే రేపటి సమాజం పర్యావరణాన్ని కాలుష్యభూతం కోరల నుంచి కాపాడుతుంది. ఆ క్రమంలోనే ఈ స్కూల్ యాజమాన్యం విద్యార్థులకు అవగాహన కల్పిస్తుంది. ఇదిగో ఇలా చూడండి, స్టూడెంట్స్ అంతా కుట్టు మిషన్ మీద ఏం చేస్తున్నారో, ఇంట్లో వాడి పడేసిన చీరలతో తమకి అవసరమైన దుస్తులు తామే తయారు చేసుకుంటారు ఈ విద్యార్థులు.
1 year నుంచి టైలరింగ్ నేర్చుకుంటున్నాను. నాకు ఆల్మోస్ట్ అన్నీ వచ్చేసినాయి. టీచర్స్ మంచిగా నేర్పించారు. బ్లౌజ్, డ్రెస్, ఫ్రాక్స్ అన్ని కుట్టాను.
చెత్త ఉత్పత్తిని తగ్గించడం ఎంత అవసరమో, వ్యర్థాలను మరో రూపంలో తిరిగి ఉపయోగించుకోవడం కూడా అంతే అవసరం. ఆ దిశగా విద్యార్థుల్లో చైతన్యం తీసుకురావడమే కాదు, వారికి శిక్షణ కూడా ఇచ్చి పాడైపోయిన స్టేషనరీ వస్తువుల నుంచి పాత బట్టల వరకు అన్నింటినీ తిరిగి ఎలా ఉపయోగించుకోవాలో నేర్పడం నిజంగా గొప్ప విషయం.
నేను ముందు స్కూల్ టీచర్ గా పనిచేసినప్పుడు వేస్ట్ థింగ్స్ టు డూ ఫ్రమ్ వేస్ట్ అని సైన్స్ ఎగ్జిబిషన్ లో పెట్టాను. నేను నాకు కంటిన్యూస్ గా 5 years బెస్ట్ టీచర్ వచ్చింది. అప్పుడు అదే ఇన్స్పిరేషన్ కాన్సెప్ట్ తీసుకొని మా పిల్లలందరితోటి ఎవ్రీ ఇయర్ చేపిస్తున్నాం. అట్లాగే మేము మేకింగ్ యూస్ఫుల్ థింగ్స్ ఫ్రమ్ వేస్ట్, లో కాస్ట్ టీచింగ్ ఎయిడ్స్ అని పెట్టాను. అప్పుడు నేను అదే బేసిక్ చేసుకొని వీళ్ళందరికీ నేర్పించి వీళ్ళందరితోటి చేపిస్తున్నాం. పాత బట్టలు ఏవైతే ఇంట్లో ఉంటాయో పడేయకుండా మా దగ్గర 10 సూయింగ్ మిషన్స్ ఉన్నాయి స్కూల్లో. ఆ సూయింగ్ మిషన్స్ మీద టైలరింగ్ టీచర్లను పెట్టి నేర్పించి ఫ్రాకులు కుట్టడం, బ్లౌజెస్ కుట్టడం ఓన్లీ ఫర్ గర్ల్స్.
Yeah, this was a craft exhibition at school. Actually, that came up in the local television. What they want to say was here was making useful things from waste, making pen stands, making flower vases, making all useful things from the waste which you throw out. All used things are thrown out. This is called reuse and recycle. This is a craft exhibition at the school. Things will be which we dispose generally are reused back. On this item only, we got 2 awards to the school. They are called Inspire, centrally sponsored awards. They are called Inspire Awards. Inspire is to inculcate the habit of innovation in children, to inspire an innovating idea in the child. They give these 2 awards. One was the child has done a project on clean water supply, cleaning river water, because they just drink in villages, they drink water. They don't clean the water and drink. How to purify water without the help of the government? They can prepare this water, they can purify this water and use it. The other one is solar fan. We have a solar energy in the school. Based on that idea, the child said, I would like to prepare a solar fan. We need fans during summer. During summer, there is a lot of solar energy available. On the rooftop of the school, we have solar panels. Just like that, he has made a small solar panel through which he started generating energy and he has started running a fan on it. So no more power bills in the smaller houses. They can use a solar rooftop panel to generate their own energy, which will considerably save the current bill, and their financial losses can be taken care of.
Yeah.
Val, sorry, I was going to say, I'm aware of the time out there, and I can see that you both look a little tired.
Right, we're back. We're enjoying if you are.
I know you are. I know you've had a really, really horrible cold while you've been there as well. So you're doing really well tonight. Can I suggest that we go to the one that's called School is Out, so we can see the children. And then when we've run that one, maybe we can then ask people to raise their electronic hands and ask some questions verbally for a few minutes.
That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Great. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll go to the one where all the school is out, as they say.
Go outside and come from the other way as well. Come.
Isn't good.
Swing around, yeah. Swing around. Swing around this way towards the door. Come back. Bye, see you tomorrow.
Prashant, bye.
Back.
I think the reason I like to be outside school is because I meet the parents and you see the type of people that are picking them up and how they get there, and you sort of see 4 or 5 people on a motorcycle, which is quite normal. They know me now, I know them, and 1 or 2 guys, one guy who is a vegetable seller, has really very little, always brings me a big bag of fruit immediately and comes and says thank you. But it's nice, every child who says, good morning, madam, good night, madam. And you just get the feel. The lady standing by the door with the microphone, with the little children, nobody's allowed to leave the building until the parent is there. So the parent arrives, tells the person, she calls the name, the senior pupils will then fetch the students, hand them over. If the parents do not arrive, they are kept in school. Home is contacted, somebody is contacted. No child is ever allowed to leave the building without either a senior student or somebody coming to fetch them. This time I took from my school, luckily they had a lot of first aid kit, just things, bandages, things like that, that doesn't really matter that they're out of date. So we've now got a very, very good first aid kit in school, and also a special burns kit, because burns are very common when they go with cooking with kerosene and things like that. But really, the whole idea is to make this the best school in this district, and it's being held up by other Rotary clubs are coming in, seeing how we do it, and this is just a tiny part of it. The social side of it, the dancing, the performance, again, is absolutely superb. This was my dream when I started. We're nearly there. We now want to try and do something about years 11 and 12, so we don't have to hand them up to a college that is not really up to standard, but that's in the future. So this is just a taste of the one thing you haven't seen. I realised there was one room, one in entrance, one in, one out, bottom. So we put a proper fire escape, one to the first floor, one to the second floor, so the children are quite safe coming up and down, so nobody's going to be stuck in the building. I think we tried to cover everything we possibly can, and we will continue now to just improve the quality of the education, use people through Rotary out here, so that we can just get people who've got knowledge. I went to the district conference, and there was 1 or 2 people there, professor from a university, and she came with me yesterday, and she said that a lot of her students will be able to come in and help. And that's what we're trying to do, is use local people local know-how. And there's one scheme going on. They're going to be doing testing of children to see what their true ability is. And I think they're going to use as a pilot school. So if we can use everything like that, that doesn't cost money. So it means that we're going to get the education going up and up and up. And we can only get better. Okay, so.
I thank Val and Terry, because year after year she's supporting the school. Terry is doing all the paperwork needed to run the school. I thank all the Rotarians across the world, not only in India, across the world, globally, to make this school a wonderful place to learn. Year after year, she is here to support us, except for the 2 years when there was COVID, she was unable to come. And just because of your support, we were able to survive the 2 years where no school in India was paid salaries, except our school, where Val and Terry, with the help of the Rotarians in UK, have paid the salaries for 20 months. 20 months. Otherwise, the teachers would have suffered very badly and they would have starved. Thank you one and all for this wonderful work at this school. A special thanks to Val, Terry, all the Rotarians, and I'm very thankful to you all for choosing my school.
And friends. There's a lot of friends. Yeah.
Really, it's a wonderful place where children come to learn, enjoy, and go back home. Thank you, Martin. Thank you, Terry. Thank you, Val.
Okay, I think it's fair to say that Rotary and Val and Terry have made an incredible impact on these children in India. It's something that we need to see continue. Val, are you happy to take one or two questions verbally?
Yes, yeah. Can I just point out that, Martin, I don't know if you can see the banner. I'll just read it. I'll bring this up, ask if I can bring it back. It says, right, okay. Dr. Prasad and all his staff wish to thank Rotary District 1220 UK, the Rotary Foundation, the Rotary Club of Sherwood Sunrisers, the many Rotary clubs and individuals who have helped to make this school into the excellent school it is today. Thank you all. I can make it happen, but without the incredible people that support me, and I can drive people mad because I'm so passionate about what I do. But I think probably now a few more people will understand how much it means. And yeah, we've made a difference.
Okay, if we take, I mean, I'm hoping everybody's aware of how to use the electronic raise hand, because I can't see everybody. So if anybody wants to raise a question or raise your hand, that'd be great. I know that Val would like to answer them. So anybody got any questions? I know there's one in the chat that's come up that says, how much is a teacher's annual salary?
Normal teachers' annual salary.
Annual salary.
£300 a year.
Yeah.
£300 a year.
For all the staff.
£300 a year. Oh, can you unmute? Who's unmuted? Oh.
No, whole staff, including all the sub-staff. There are 40 staff in the school. That would be working out to £300 in a year.
Yeah.
Per month. Sorry, not per year. It's per month. That's 3 lakhs per month.
So their actual salary.
40 staff. We have 40 staff in the school. Somebody is asking a question. How many staff are there? It is 40 staff.
Please allow us to unmute.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. You should be able to unmute yourself. I'm slightly confused by that. So are you not able to unmute at the moment?
I've done it. I've done it.
Yeah.
Okay, you say you should.
Thank you.
I've not locked it.
You had disabled it, Martin, so we couldn't unmute ourselves.
I wasn't aware that I had. But anyway, carry on. Anybody got a question?
Yes, I've got my hand raised, Martin. Jonathan Portwood here.
Okay. Yep, Jonathan.
So just to first of all to congratulate you, Val, on all that you've done. I lived for 17 years in Pune, until 2011, working with Christian mission organisation there. And while we've had some success there with literacy programs for the slum areas, I've never seen something so successful for a school. I'm just wondering which exam board do the year 10s take their exams under?
Which exam board do you use?
State exam board. It's state exam board, and we are able to get 100% result from past 5 years. There are no failures.
Well done.
Thank you.
Well done. I also have family who live in Secunderabad. My wife's family live there in Secunderabad.
We are in Secunderabad. School is placed in Secunderabad.
Yes, yeah. I can't remember the name of the area at the moment, and my wife's not with me to tell me.
Okay, so we'll move on. So we have a question from Anne Craddock.
Hi Val, when you were talking to the Women's Institutes in Cumbria, you were telling us about you were hoping to build an external staircase as a fire exit. Was that right? Did you manage to do that?
Yeah, I think Martin's got pictures of it. Yeah, we did we did level 1, and then we did at second one level 2. So it goes right up. So the children now are safe from all floors coming down. The only thing we've got to do now is it's got rails on the side. The other thing we need to do now is cover it over, because when it's pouring with rain, they get wet.
Yeah.
So
I know you were concerned about it, Val. Yeah.
Yeah, we've done it, Anne, and we're going to cover it over. Hi, Tim.
Hi, Val. Good
That
to see you.
staircase is open, actually. We want to cover it. When the children are coming down, if it's raining or it's too hot, they have to come down from second floor. So we are planning to cover it so that they can safely come down even during rain.
Steel staircase, painted so it doesn't.
But at least they can get out, Val. That's the most important thing. Even if they're a bit wet.
I suddenly realised that you couldn't. We've got about 1,000 children that couldn't get out of the building.
All right. Yeah.
I did it straight away.
Yeah, what we can do, we'll just take the question from Maxie, and then I'll find that video of the staircase, and I'll then show that. So, if you'd like to ask your question, Maxie.
Val, you're just amazing. I have no words. Okay, so I visited India and went and visited a few schools myself and sponsored children, but the fact was they tended to move on. The families were finding work elsewhere, etc. So what would happen in that instance if a child was sponsored and had to move on?
If we start sponsoring the child. If that child leaves the school, then we would ask Dr. Prasad to replace them with another child. Right. Now in COVID, we had the situation when a lot of the families went back to the villages.
Yes.
The 2 of my sponsors have got children and they didn't return. But what I did was left it open. I used the money and sponsored somebody else. Several came back and we carried on sponsoring them. So if they leave and come back, once we started sponsoring them, I always make sure that I've raised enough money. The first thing I ever do is raise enough money that if anybody drops out, I can cover them. Because once they've got an education, but if they leave, and as you know, especially the families that are working on the building sites and that sort of thing, they move about. But no, that is immediately, he will replace it by 2 needy children or 1 needy child.
And my last question, do you allow Rotarians to go over and help voluntary work?
Not haven't in the past, because it's not that simple. I won't say no, but a lot of people said I'd like to come with you, but it's not quite that simple because of accommodation. I mean, I don't live in hotels or anything like that. I live in houses or wherever I am, and it's quite expensive. But it's not not doable. I mean, I took a young girl, 18, from the girls' high school and to one school, and she stayed 3 months.
Yeah, that's
But
amazing.
not with me. So yeah, I tend to move about all over. I'm on the move, but no, it's not. It's doable, but it's not quite as easy as just saying I'd like to come with you.
Right. Okay. Thank you very much for your time.
You're welcome, Maxine. You're welcome.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Okay, what I'll do now, I'll move to the staircase just so you can see. We should just finally answer that question, hopefully. So.
Yeah.
Central, isn't it? 3 stories up.
Well, I think right at the cupboard. Monstrosity.
Didn't hear that.
It's like that monstrosity right at the cupboard.
Let's see about that.
Can I just ask, Val, why have they got their arms folded?
Oh, well, I'll explain that. I'll explain that. I've stopped that. These haven't now. Oh, they are.
I don't think I'd like to walk downstairs with my arms crossed.
I knew they'd
It
pick
would
that
ruin your
up.
balance, wouldn't it?
I knew they'd pick that up. Right. The first when I saw that, I thought they're going to pick that up immediately. For some reason, and I've got rid of it in this school, most schools are like military. It's unbelievable. And they stand up, they've got their arms closed. Now we do not. And we do not jump up and say, good morning, madam, and they deafen everybody. What happened there was those children, we wanted to film that. And the teacher, without thinking, I saw it and I thought, how on earth they can walk down like that? And luckily they were holding on. So no, we've stopped people in the classroom. Everybody used to sit with their arms folded all the time, which is very unnatural. So now we sit naturally and we relax. Now the children smile. When I first came to school, Indian children didn't smile. They do now because I make them smile. But it is just a very old fashioned. And PE, and you will appreciate this, PE was like, do you remember that awful book where they used to do all the drills?
I do. Swedish.
Well, that's
yes.
And Christine will be laughing. The lady I'm talking to now was at college with me. She was my grandmother at college.
I wasn't your grandmother. I was in the same year.
No,
I was. Val was my granddaughter.
But everything was military. It really was. It's military, but we've got rid of that. We now have proper dancing. We now have proper moving about. It's just changing a culture, and some cultures you can help to change. But the one thing I make clear, I have to go with the culture. We can tweak it a little bit. We can help. We can stop people getting married at 16 by keeping them in education. But with below poverty line, especially in tribal villages where I also work, to a great extent, you have to go with the culture. Otherwise, you would not be able to work. And I just go with the flow. If I eat what they eat, I dress the same as they dress. I just don't complain about the rubbish. Well, I do, but if you're going to live here, you have to be fit in. Otherwise you're a tourist, and there are no tourists in this area at all. The only thing I'm going to do, I think, every time I get stopped, can I have a selfie? Can I have a photo? I'm going to charge 10 rupees for my school. I can make an absolute fortune. I can't move.
Especially being blonde.
Tall and blonde is a great advantage, yes.
Yeah.
In a sari.
Yeah.
And we did get the staircase.
Yeah, it's fabulous. Thank you.
Yeah, I stayed in the villages with the villagers. Yeah, and it's Maxine's just put up. And in the village, I lived with the villagers. I slept in the ashram. I ate the meal 3 times a day. If it runs out. You have to just go. If you don't like sitting inside a piece of blue plastic, you've got to remember, no matter how poor it is, that is somebody's home, and they are proud of it. And if they give you a banana, you eat it and you share it. But you just have to be very careful what you eat and drink outside. But if you're not going to do that, you would never survive.
I've got a question, Val. More of an observation, really. The videos that we've seen this evening make all the children look as though they're really beautifully turned out. Lots of effort have gone in. But I'm also aware that a lot of the uniforms are hand-me-downs, and if we could zoom into some of the uniforms, that they don't all look as beautiful as they do. But one observation is the girls' hairstyles and the ribbons are all beautiful.
Yeah, well, this is you can answer.
Yeah, see, if we don't put up this discipline, that's where they have to tie the ribbons and put the hair up. They have to put a plait, tie up with the black ribbons, and Wednesday and Saturday they have to use white ribbons. Otherwise, they won't comb their hair also. They would definitely come to school without combing their hair, because parents go off in the morning. There's nobody to take care of them. If some of them do come to school like that, I ask my sub-staff to help them out, plait them, put the ribbons or rubber bands and send them into the class, so that they are no more odd. They are in full uniform where they put on plaits. Otherwise, they leave the hairs, and somebody at the back bench sitting will try to pull their hair because it's out and open. So that's why we make it sure that they tie the plaits, ribbon it, so that nobody touches their hair who are sitting in the back.
You see, Martin, there's discipline here, what we've lost in our schools. And yesterday, the government put an edict in that children can be hit in schools, but only by teachers.
What?
Oh, no.
Yeah, yeah. That's now in law. Slap around the legs or whatever. But the thing is, yes, those uniforms, they do all look like that. How, I never know.
But not regularly.
Yeah, but not.
It depends on if the child doesn't come for 10 days, 15 days, they go to the village and they don't turn up. They don't know the value of education. Just they are going on for some marriage, some party, my auntie's marriage, my uncle's marriage, one week, 10 days, they disappear. And they will not be able to cope up with the other children. So they have to be we have to be little strict with them so that they come regularly to school. Yeah. If they come regularly, we can manage them.
So I've just bought every child in the school a new pair of shoes.
Yeah, 1,200 pairs.
For Christmas, we put out an appeal, buy a child a pair of shoes. And as always, luckily, we managed to get it. Every child has got a new pair of shoes. Because if you look at the shoes, yes, you're right, they're hand-me-downs. The socks look a bit strange. Sometimes the hem needs trim, get very close. And also, if they've only got one set of uniform for 6 days a week, it can get a little bit smelly. But generally, from a distance, all the children are the same, and they come out of nowhere. I mean, I've done my washing in the bucket and hung it out and by morning it's dry.
We try to educate the parents also. Once in a while, we do call them to the school, but not all of them turn, but few of them turn up. We tell them, this is how you have to deal with the child. This is how you have to take care of your child. You have to wash your socks. You can't wear them for a whole week. They start smelling badly because they leave the socks and go into the computer room. So I go on talking to the parents and tell them, this is how apply oil on the hair, put a plait on the hair, and so on and so forth, just like washing clothes. They don't wash the uniform for 1 week. In the earlier days, it used to smell badly. Then we told the parents, no, weekly, twice or thrice, you have to wash the uniform and daily have 2 pairs of socks and see that they're being washed so that your child does not get any problems in the health because of virus, some infection and all, which will not come if they wash it regularly. That's what we are trying to educate the parents. Once in 3 months, we call for a parents' meeting. If they don't come, we pull up the child We warn the child, if your parent doesn't come, we will not allow you into the school, or we'll make you stand out of the class if your parent doesn't turn up. So they are in the back of the parent to see that their parents come to the school. At least, if not for all the meetings, at least few meetings they do attend. Once they attend, we inform them. See, this is how we have to manage the children, wash clothes, because some of them wash themselves. Older children, they wash themselves. Uniforms they wash, socks they wash, shoes they clean. But smaller children won't be able to clean for themselves. So we instruct the parents, at least up to class 5, grade 5. You clean the shoes, wash the socks, wash the uniform. We have 2 uniforms. One is sports uniform, the other one is blue school regular uniform. So 2 days they wear the school uniform, 1 day sports. When they wear sports uniform, you better wash this uniform. Then again, the remaining 2 days school uniform. Then Saturday again sports uniform. So they will get time to wash and come back to school. That's how we are managing.
And they do as he tells him.
Yeah, they do what I tell them.
Because that's great. Because they know that the education is superb. He loves every child. You can tell, and all the time, past pupils are coming back. It's a tough world.
Yeah, that's great. Right, I'm looking at the time now. We're almost coming up for an hour and 45 minutes. So I've got one more question, and then I think we'll wrap it up if that's okay, Val. So yeah. Maxi's asking, how much does a uniform cost approximately for a small child?
£6.
£6.
Total uniform.
Very good. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Little bit more for the older ones. And the older girls, you'll notice that because we have to, the girls wear the dresses, but they wear the leggings underneath, because we've got you can't tell, there's quite a lot of Muslim children in school, because as soon as they come in, they take their scarf off, they take their whatever the burqa off, they do not wear it. But we do appreciate that when girls do need their legs covered. So they have
Earlier they were wearing frocks. So some parents said, see, they sit on the bikes and come, their legs are exposed. So we started with this new uniform where they were in leggings. For all older children from class 6 to 10 girls, they wear leggings so that their legs are not exposed.
Yeah.
Okay, right. I've also noticed that there's been some fantastic offers of donations and so on in the chat as well, which is absolutely amazing. So I will save the chat and pass that to Val. But if anybody else wants to contact me or just send me an email just to confirm that you would like to get involved, that's great. I've been really humbled this last 18 months at the number of clubs that have really helped support this project of empowering girls. And it's something that I would personally like to see carry on as well, because the work that is being done at this school is absolutely fantastic. And it's great to see Rotary in motion and see the work that we're doing. So thank you for attending, everybody. Sorry,
Martin, can I just say that now that I'm back on my feet, and I have had a physio out here who was 10 times better than the physios in the UK. So I'm walking quite well. Any club that wants me now, I'm now active to go and talk, because it's much easier face to face. Then just let me know. I'm quite happy to do that. Any group, not just Rotary. But as I said in the conference yesterday when I had to give a speech, it's not all about money. Rotary for a service above self. And I think that's what we lost a lot in Rotary. Yet we do need money, but we also need service, because when you actually do it, you get results.
Yeah, very true. Very true. So, well, if I can thank you both, Val from India, for giving your time up this evening. I know it must be, what, 2 o'clock in the morning now, is it?
14:35.
Well,
we have to be back in school at 7.
Yeah. You need to get some rest before 7 o'clock. So I know the children will all be waiting, queuing up ready for you. So that's great. Thank you for what you've done tonight, Val, and fantastic start to our week as not a conference. And we look forward to hearing more about the great work that's happening there as well. So thank you very much.
And thanks to everybody who's listening.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Great.
Thanks for